whole thing about being an asshole.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I kind of lost you there.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, I think that person was way out of line. And by person, I mean Mark's relative.
He apologized to me for her like twice. It was pretty funny.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's so,
yeah.
That's so sweet.
I wasn't even like, I don't know, maybe it's just his manners and being polite, but I like wasn't angry at him, or even like, I just like the nerve of this bitch. Mark should be ashamed. Like, it just never occurred to me.
Wait, what did I do?
We were talking about that one time when your cousin was talking shit to Zara.
Oh man, I apologize for that again.
Don't. You would think you're a New Yorker. You're supposed to be go fuck you. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Yo, don't fucking worry about it. She my cousin.
Yeah.
I guess.
No,
I don't know.
I was asking Zara if, what does he think about? Because listen, when we're on Facebook or whatever, we don't just, we're not like the douchebags who post pictures of ourselves and shit and wait for fucking comments to roll through and shit, like 87 of them saying, oh, nice shirt, or hey, nice tits, and whatever the fuck. We actually have news feeds on there and we make comments, and I'm sure Zara goes in there. Dude, didn't you say that some lady got pissed at you?
Zara?
What?
Yeah, Zara. That's some old lady, like.
Oh no! I went into this thread and like this idiot who was he like his literal profession on Facebook was like crystal healer or some shit. Like, one of those like new age spiritual bullshit religions that is, they try to say it's not a religion but it is.
Yep.
And he was like shitting on Christianity, and I made fun of him for it. I was just basically like, I put, in the, what's the word I'm looking for, the carrot or whatever, in basically the green text, and I was like, Rashiki crystal healer, and then like talked shit on Christianity, and I like made fun of him for it. And then like some old lady thought I was like shitting on Christianity or something, which I totally would have done, but I didn't in that situation. And she like makes this like huge like all caps rant about how if I don't believe in God, then I can just go away. And I just like it was somebody's grandma, and I just like died laughing because I imagined my own grandmother who was like this, little old religious lady who wasn't very mean to anyone, just kind of like sitting there like typing furiously on Facebook in full caps.
Not to mention that your last name is Christiansen.
You're a Christian son.
Yeah.
Obviously, at some point, that was your family was Christian, and it was probably your grandfather.
Where did you hear that from? Because I heard that last names had to do with professions, like
like blacksmith.
Yeah.
You're thinking of that was very common in like continental Europe, but Christensen is actually a Scandinavian last name. And in Scandinavia they have patronyms, which are basically like if you were somebody's son, then you were given the name, like say, like I don't know what your dad's name is, but let's say your dad's name is Pedro because I'm racist.
Of course.
If your dad's name is Pedro, then if you were in Scandinavia, you'd be Cesar Pedro's son.
Pedro's.
That would like your last name was literally your father's name plus son, and it was like the same if you were a woman. It was then there would be Pedro's daughter. Only it would be in actual Scandinavian. It was datter. So, but yeah, Christensen is just an Americanized spelling of. It would be spelled like this in Scandinavian.
X's and shit in there.
We're fucking video podcast and shit.
Christensen.
Oh, I didn't know it was running. Was it running?
We're running.
I didn't know we were on the air.
Oh,
running.
Oh, okay.
Did you not hear the fucking eyes hit the glass?
Kristensen would be how to say Christensen if you were actually writing it in the correct language that it was originated from, is what I'm saying.
That's correct. Why don't you spell it like that?
So, well, when families from Europe came to the United States, they anglicized the names. Mostly because there wasn't like most of these immigrants didn't know how to speak English, so they couldn't and they didn't know the English alphabet as a consequence, so they couldn't say spell your name in English or whatever. They just say your last name and they'd say it, and then the people who worked in Ellis Island would literally just write it as it would have been pronounced in English.
Huh.
Or rather, they wrote it as it sounded in English. So they're just anglicized names, really. That happened in a lot of names from people coming from Europe. Many especially German names, because they're like I think 50% of the 30% of the white population of Europe, or of not Europe, of America is ethnically German, something like that.
Yeah, I think I did. Yo, I'm 15th pot German. That means I understand German stuff.
What the fuck?
Yo, I'm 1 millionth Cherokee too, so why don't you watch out for that one? Coming over here, telling me
I know a
stuff.
guy. Well, I don't know a guy, but I've corresponded on the internet with a guy who was like 1/16th Cherokee, or not 1/16th Cherokee, even. I just think he was like 1/16th Native American in some form, and he was like, "I'm gonna go to the Native American office or whatever and get my welfare money, my reparation money for being Native American." Like he was serious. He was like, just I was completely like blown away by that kind of mentality.
Yo, I'm 1/16th fucking Native American, and you're 100% douchebag. Shut the
No,
fuck up.
Pretty much.
I don't understand.
they have those
Just
DNA
funny.
tests now that you fucking come up with, like, oh, I'm 33%, whatever the fuck. Like, who gives a fuck?
Man.
Who gives a fuck?
I wish Seth was here because we used to have this sort of conversation. At what point does your ethnicity like become like null and void? All right. So let's say like, yo, my great great grandfather came from Italy. He was 100% Italian, but now you live in America. You're American. You're not Italian. Like, yeah, you have Italian fucking roots, but you have no connection to that. So it's like, how far back do you go? Because if you think about it, we're all Pangean. So, like, yo, I'm 100% Pangean. What's up?
But, there's these douchebags, especially women, in my opinion, that I've seen that they're the ones that make it all about what they are. Like for some, fuck. Like, they'll be like at this Greek festival, like, oh yeah, I'm fucking 14% Greek. Like, who gives a fuck? That's why you're here? Because you're 14% Greek? Fuck you. And
It's
then
like
you're,
you can't be there just to have fun. Like, yo,
yeah.
I'm 0% Greek. I just want to come because I like being here. I don't know. That's how I am. Like, yo, I'm not a vegetarian, but I'll go hang out at a vegetarian place because.
Yeah, you can't, like you said, you can't just go because, you're trying to have fun, you're trying to eat some Greek food. No, bitch, I'm 14% Greek, and my ancestors want me here. Like, fuck you, bitch, and your last name is Sanchez, cocksucker.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The most, like, opposite racial name. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, I am basically half and half. All
Fuck
right.
it. Fuck it. Let's start this bitch. How about that?
Oh fuck.
Why the
You said
fuck?
we were recording already.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
You know, man. Come
I
on.
love you, Zara.
I'm just trying to get my ducks in
That's
a row,
right,
I
bitch.
guess.
Our fucking favorite philosopher is in this fucking bitch. Why the fuck are we even still fucking talking?
Nice. 9-9.
Feel good, bitches. It's fucking Friday tomorrow. What better fucking intro than fucking cartoon-based fucking rock?
I never really got into them. Not gonna lie.
They're fucking good. Fucking gorillas.
Wasn't Del the Funky Homo Sapien in that group?
Who?
Dude, you know who Del the Funky Homo Sapien is?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, well, maybe that's gonna be something you need to look up.
Well, we will.
Yeah.
We were gonna have to.
I don't know what connection he has to that fucking group, but
Let's Google that shit right now. Who is it?
Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Oh, wait, stay here.
Here we go.
Alright.
Holy shit.
He's been doing stuff for a while. He's kind of I don't even know what you like alternative like rap, I guess.
I don't know.
He's the cousin of Ice Cube.
Of course,
Oh, he was in the lynch mob. That's crazy.
there's kids everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you hear
He was
that
in.
guy that like cut off his dick and he just jumped off the fucking second story balcony or whatever the fuck?
Oh, from the fucking whatever that group was called, Wu Tang, right? He was like an affiliate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My question, all right, here's my question: why the fuck is that news? And it's like
Okay.
being like, yo, my fucking cousin who argued with Brock is a fucking she fucking OD'd on fucking cat piss. It's like, why is that news? Why the
Cat,
fuck is that
cat
news? Who gives a fuck about that guy?
Oh shit! Here's my question. Well, how did? Okay, did he cut it off and then jump off, or did he cut it off, throw it out there, and then jump off, or did he cut it off and he just kind of threw it back and then jumped off?
Ew,
And
he's like jumping like he's falling back. He chucks it up.
here's the
Right.
real question: what landed first?
Um, the penis landed first.
I think so. It has more weight to
Friction.
it.
Well, but friction aside, I would assume because he's probably got clothes on, so they're gonna slow him down a little bit.
I don't.
Here's the real question: who was that person?
Who fucking knows?
What did he do?
He rapped.
Okay, did you know a friend of Mac Dre? His name was Big Lurch. He got him and a friend of his got super fucked up on PCP, and they killed some girl and they ate her. And when they found him, he was butt ass naked walking through the streets, and he had part of her lung inside of his stomach.
What?
So, what about that
No,
guy? Let's talk about him for a minute.
that's not. That's fucking disgusting.
Crazy motherfucker.
Yep, PCP is fucking cool. So let's talk about that instead of some dude who cut his dick off.
Hey, on
Like,
some real
why?
shit.
Wait, hang on. It's not like he cut his dick off while he was jumping out the window. His first thing was, "I'm gonna cut my dick off." We should not be talking about that guy. Fuck
My
that guy.
Here's my theory, okay? Maybe he wasn't deranged. Maybe he was being completely rational. He wanted to kill himself really bad, but he didn't think he could go through with it, so he cuts his dick off, and then he did that knowing that he would not want to live without his dick.
Right. Because now he survived.
Oh, that's
He's
a
alive.
shame.
So now you're fucking alive without it. You know what? I don't know if they managed to reattach it or not. But either way, you lost a couple of inches off of that shit right there. It's not the same.
Dude, you jumped off. You cut your dick off and tried to jump out of a fucking window. You lost more than an inch. Like that thing's never coming out. First
That's
of all.
brutal. That's fucking
What if
brutal.
what if like when you get your organ donor card, then like part of the agreement is that people can take your penis and like attach it to other people who don't have dicks anymore that need them.
Nice.
That'd be a good idea.
Like your penis gets immortality.
Yo, if I had a small dick,
Ew.
if I was Chinese, I would do it on purpose.
Chinese.
And then like they'd be like, okay, sir, we got you a new dick, and I would just keep doing it until like I got like an African motherfucking dick. You know what I'm saying? Like just fucking keep doing it until I got my dick of preference.
Ew. You know
I don't
how
think that
they
would work
fucking...
though because it would like they do that with like medicine like where people like if they have a kidney and they get like a kidney transplant and it gets rejected or whatever like the kidney doesn't take then they won't give you another one. They're like yeah well I guess you're screwed because people need those kidneys and you can't just keep giving you kidneys until one finally takes.
Yo, but
Stem cells.
there's a difference between dicks and kidneys.
Think about this. All right, so
I think people are going to be more likely to donate their kidney than their dick.
nah, but yo, with stem cells, right? You
Grow a
can
dick.
grow your own ear. Yeah, dude. So it's gonna be fucking mice running around with fucking floppy ass dicks off their back. Like, yo, we need to harvest these mice. Dick Cheney needs a new dick. Quick, quick!
These fucking rats walking around with fucking floppy jalopy dicks.
Yeah, dude,
Floppy
they're gonna be
jalopy.
fucking. They're gonna be dragging themselves like, I don't know.
This is the weirdest conversation I've had. Do the penises, can they ejaculate on the rats?
No, because they don't. Well, do they have feeling? Until
I think all rats have feelings. I mean,
no, but do
You would
the
need
penis?
sufficient like
What's
You
that?
would need to have the neurological impulse that would cause an ejaculation to happen.
Would a
So you'd have
mouse
to like
have
wire the human. You'd have to like wire the human dick to the mouse's gonads or something.
Oh,
that?
let's not.
I think we need to. Let's get super deep into this conversation. I think this is the one that we need to like spend like 2
Let's
hours
do the
on.
opposite of what most people would do here.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's like they have frogs, and scientists cut a square of their stomach off and a square of their back off, and they switched them, and then when they tickled the stomach, which was the back square, they went to hit their back.
Oh.
So it's like you move the fucking cells around when they're adult cells, and it doesn't matter where they are.
Who fucking comes up with this shit? It's fucking my shit.
I don't know, but whoever it is, they probably got a lot of money from the government.
I heard it was how many years ago was it that I heard about the study? I was still in high school, I think, when I heard about the. There was literally a study that Swedish scientists did where they like just poked mice with pens in the stomach for like hours at a time to make them fart. It was like determined like just to find out which part of the mouse you had to poke to make them fart.
That did they figure it out?
Yeah, they did, but like I just have no idea why. Like
Yeah.
they didn't like there was like the hypothesis was that like if you poke the mouse here it'll fart, and then like it worked and it was like not what they expected, so that was the end of the experiment. It's like we actually poked here and they farted more when we poked here, and that's the end of like they never was like we're gonna use this to research stem cells or cancer or AIDS. We're just gonna let's get funding to do this.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say, like,
terrible.
here we are making like the stupidest fucking studies, and we're wasting fucking time doing this while we could be fucking, protesting this fucking this net neutrality or whatever the fuck you want to person, man.
That's
Man.
It's
that's,
just
that's
this.
kind of a you can't like because like people care about different things, right? Like they have different priorities. So like when you say shit like we shouldn't be worrying about net neutrality, there are people who are in Africa that are starving and not able to get clean drinking water. It'd be like the same kind of argument, but when you make that argument, you realize that obviously one of these is empirically more important than the other, but matters more to you than it does to them. Like you, I mean, I don't know anyone really. Like people may lie and say otherwise, but I don't know anyone who cares more about starving children in Africa than they care about having their Wi-Fi costs go up $20 a month. You know what I mean?
I care more about the internet. I'm not gonna lie. I'll
Well,
be
that's what
fucking
exactly.
straight up because
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, because oh my god, once that shit goes fucking, it's all gonna be private at some point if this shit goes through.
It's gonna hit the fan.
once shit hits the fan, it's like I don't have knowledge anymore. Like I can't fucking you won't be able to do anything. Like oh yo, you can fucking read Yahoo News and you can read about the fucking guy that raped somebody that we made up yesterday. So that's gonna be cool, but oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
What pisses me off is I think everybody likes to fucking put it on their Facebook and shit and all for a fucking comment or a like or just to have a conversation. But there's things that people can do and a lot of people don't do it. And I think, I mean, it's easy. I went on Reddit because I think somebody did an AMA. I think it was Josh Levy, David Siegel, Amalia Deloney, the Center for Media Justice. They're lawyers. They're just people who are like gathering, together to fucking help out with this problem, and they even give solutions to it. Like, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. We'll represent you in court or do
Wait,
this.
what is that for? Is it for the net neutrality thing?
Yeah. It's like here's 3 important things you can do. Like you can call your senators. You can what was the other? It was like so many things that you can do. You go email this person, email like senators and representatives, and tell them you want the FCC to classify broadband access as a Title II telecommunication service. Uh, there's just different things that we can do, but instead, we just put it on Facebook and oh look, it's fucking cute. Just watch out, bitches, because it's coming. Okay, so then
And
do
here
something.
it is. Well,
Yeah.
I remember when fucking SOPA came out, people fucking actually did something about it, which was pretty nice. What's the website for that? Like, where do you go to? Where'd you find all that shit?
I'm gonna post it up on Facebook. I'm gonna post it up
Oh yeah, what else you get? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm actually gonna go through with it. I'm gonna email all these
Oh,
assholes.
I'm gonna be a fucking asshole about it. Like, Oh my god, I was talking to you about it earlier today, and the only thing I was thinking was like, this shit is gonna cause fucking riots, or it's not, and then we're gonna be fucked. Like,
Yeah.
if this shit goes through, oh my god, I do not know what will happen, but it will not be good.
If you're listening and you want to do something about it, go to www.savetheinternet.com and or just Google savetheinternet.com and there's a page where it says take action and there's just like different things that you can do. Uh, there's phone numbers, there's email addresses you can do. Um, Once you do all this, I suggest you put it on your Facebook so that other people can see how easy it is to fucking do all this shit. Uh, but you know what I need to do too? I was telling Iris about it. I need to get a voting card. I fucking went to jury duty and it pissed me off because here's this fucking stupid Mexican going, huh, well, if I don't vote, then I don't get called jury duty. And here goes my bitch ass over there. Like a dumbass because, it's like a folk tale and shit. Like, oh, they say if you don't vote, you can go to jury duty. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just hang around here on the Underground Railroad and shit. But fuck you, bitch. They fucking found my ass. Dude, they even sent me an email, a letter when I wasn't even a citizen of the United States telling me to go fucking be on jury duty. I'm like, I'm not a United States citizen. Like, oh, well, we apologize for that. Like, why are they fucking sending me shit? I'm not even fucking a citizen. Well, I wasn't at the time. I am now. But I mean, I had to go, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? I should just fucking vote. So,
Well, here's what's fun is that doesn't matter at all. So have fun with that.
yep.
Have fun voting. Like, don't waste your time.
You think so?
I want to do fucking jury duty. The one time I went, I sat in a fucking jury thing for like an hour, and they came in. We don't need you. Everyone leave.
Yeah, that's what they told
Fuck
me.
you. I wanted to do it. I'm
Fuck
interested
that.
in that shit.
It was probably some bullshit traffic ticket or something. And you know what? They let me go. I got paid at work. I got paid over here in this motherfucker. And I went to go get tacos and shit. Then I went home and played Call of Duty. That's what the fuck I did. Thanks, America.
Oh,
Thanks, Obama.
motherfucker! I went back to fucking work. I'm an asshole. I should got tacos.
Yeah, you are.
I fucked
That's
up.
what my boss is like, you think you can be there all day? I'm like, seems like a tough case right there.
Yeah, it's real tough.
I have no idea what it's gonna be about. Like, yeah, it could be that murder we saw on TV. Like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm like, fuck it. I got out at like 10:30 and shit.
I had to go at like fucking 9 in the morning.
Reminds me of
and
my
sit around.
professor that I've taken like 3 classes from, who miraculously had jury duty on like the second Tuesday of every semester.
Wait, what proof do you have to bring your like employer? Or you just say, I have jury duty, I can't come in.
They send you a letter.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have to show that to your.
Yeah.
How legit does that letter have to be? Because I might get a lot of fucking jury duty in the next week. Yo, this is gonna be a long case. Just keep paying me. But listen, I'm doing this for the country. Man.
Wilson versus Sanchez. Watch the fuck out.
Hogan versus Butt.
You can make it like a wrestling match. Hogan versus Red.
Hulk Hogan versus puppies.
And this time, it's personal.
Oh, fuck.
It's always personal.
It's always personal. But I don't know. And then there's petitions you can sign and shit. I don't know. I'll post all this shit on Facebook. It's just, it's like, what else can you fucking do? What else can you fucking do?
Besides, here's literally what it's gonna come down to. Is that they're gonna take the fucking internet away, and people are gonna be like, we're fucking dumb now because we don't have the thing that was giving us all the information that we need. Like, this is taking too long. Either people are gonna pay the fucking money, or there's literally gonna be fucking riots. And if there aren't riots, then we're fucked.
But I think we're that fucking lazy where even if the internet goes away, or even if they like raise the price of the internet or whatever, people will fucking be pissed off, but they'll pay for it.
Yeah, and then you know what's gonna happen
Most
after
people
that?
who use the internet aren't using it for like the kind of shit that, like, here's the thing, right? Is it like, you say that, like, I mean, you obviously, I shouldn't say obviously because I don't know, but I presume you would be affected severely by this because you use the internet for things other than going on Facebook and, you know, being a fucking ape, basically.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I do.
But the vast majority of internet users are not people who are going on the internet and doing like research into interesting topics, or going to obscure websites to learn about obscure things or learn obscure skills, or be part of a community with people who have a very minute excuse, not minute. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
Unique?
unique. Well, I guess it's not unique because it wouldn't be unique. It'd be very a niche interest, I guess.
Okay.
The vast
right.
majority of people are going on the internet to either pay their fucking bills or go on Facebook or watch YouTube. They're not going on, they aren't trying to do anything other with it. With it other than entertain themselves. And
Well, it's gonna be funny
so
because if that
how
shit
how
happens,
likely are you to actually get people to riot when the vast majority of people are not going to be affected by this whatsoever?
well, here you go. This fucking net neutrality thing. Oh, hey, Facebook and YouTube, you gotta start charging now because we're gonna start charging you.
Oh, imagine that shit.
That's what's gonna fucking happen. Here's why: because Facebook now is fucking public. Therefore, if all right, so Verizon, obviously, let's just say Verizon's the only fucking thing, the only provider. They use 70% of their fucking bandwidth goes to Facebook because you're sitting on Facebook, you're transferring data. You're sitting on Facebook, 70% of the shit. They can be like, hey, we're gonna start charging you because we can make money off you. Thus, they have to start charging users to pay fucking money to go on there. Do it. Okay, it's gonna be super slow. You get one update a fucking day, maybe if you're lucky. You can do one status, shit like that, and then it's like, oh, you can start paying. You can do premium, and it's $100 a month. People will fucking pay that. But what that means is that you're fucked. Like if Facebook has to pay, like charge people, you're not gonna be able to go to fucking like obscure websites like not Wikipedia, like they'll charge them, but fucking how do I wear a tie right.com. You're not gonna be able to go to fucking savetheinternet.com because it won't work. It just will not load.
What if it's like?
There's
Go ahead.
the thing about this is though is that like everybody knew it was coming. Well, I shouldn't say everybody because everybody didn't know it was coming, but I remember when SOPA first made its reared its ugly head, people were excited when it finally got shut down, but at the same time, I mean, other people, and I was part of this camp of people who were basically like,
It's coming back.
it's happening and it's coming back and it's going to keep coming back forever until it passes, because the powers that want it, the powers that want it to happen, the ones that have the money, are going to get their way eventually. Money always talks in a capitalist society. That is how it works, for better or worse.
Yep.
So when you have these kind of urgent interests, the reason why SOPA didn't pass is really what I'm going to get to. I'll just fast forward to this part. The reason why SOPA didn't pass is because it was in opposition to the powers that be, which is to say, the tech industry that generates tons of revenue, not only tax revenue for the government, but also contributes highly to the economy. It was basically going to screw them over big time. It put the onus of responsibility on them, and they didn't like that. So they retaliated back, and they pit their money against the people who were championing SOPA, and they won. But we all knew, at least all of us who were paying attention, knew at that point that it was only going to be a matter of time until somebody proposed an end to net neutrality that was not going to put the onus of responsibility upon the people generating revenue. It was going to put it upon the people who basically controlled the revenue streams, which is to say as you're saying, the ISPs themselves. Because right now the way that it works is that you say you do something illegal on the internet, right? I mean, I know that this is sort of a different subject, but you do something illegal on the internet, like you torrent Breaking Bad, and these companies, the companies that make them, HBO and such, they have people who seed torrents, and they have people who they basically check torrents to make sure that people aren't stealing their shit. And when they do, they know who it is.
Yep.
And they then send a letter to your ISP, not a letter necessarily, but a notification that says, this IP address accessed our, copyrighted information at this point in time, blah, 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 blah. And it is the law for the ISP to contact you and notify you that your internet is being shut off because of XYZ reasons, and if you cooperate with them, then they'll turn it back on. And I don't know if either of you ever had a DMC, notice happen to you, but it's not like it's so silly and how trivial it is. Like, you call them and then you're like, yeah, you guys turned off my internet because I torrented Breaking Bad. And they're like, don't do it again, okay? And they turn it back on.
And then you do it
And-
again.
Right, and so the content creators, the people who have copyrighted information, and people like, you know, Disney and HBO and all them, set out to basically make the websites that did this, like the torrent websites, that make them responsible. Or like Google, for instance, Google would be responsible because the torrent site comes up when you search for torrents. Like, they're aiding a crime. And so SOPA was one of those things where they were like, the, you know, content creators, not the content creators, the well, yeah, I mean, the people who run the internet industry basically were like, holy shit, this is terrible for us. Bad things could happen. We could be sued by these companies. This entertainment industry is going to bend us over backwards if this passes. So they were opposed to it. But if they get something like this in a form where they are not responsible, they don't give a shit. They're not going to they're not on your side. You know what I mean? Like,
'Cause it
people
just
like
makes
acted
them
like
money.
Google was their savior. Yeah, exactly.
So
Like, people
would it
acted like
make
Google or all those other companies were heroic or whatever, and they weren't heroic. They were acting in their best interest.
so would it made
Where are
more
they
sense
now?
for SOPA to pass rather than this?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been better for you probably as an individual user, because the onus of responsibility would no longer been upon the ISP for one, so they wouldn't have probably turned off your internet for these things. It probably would have been more like they find out who is running uTorrent or whatever. Not uTorrent, not the actual website, but like the Pirate Bay. They find out, assuming these people are like an actual company in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And not some overseas organization that is basically immune to U.S. law. Then they hunt down the person who's the most responsible, I should say, that they actually can prosecute, like Google, for instance, and they say, well, using your search engine at this time, at this point in the year, you know, so and so at this IP address accessed a website from your search engine, which enabled them to steal our money. So we are taking that out of your hide. Which would have been better for you, but bad for them. And, well, I shouldn't say better for you necessarily, because bad things would have happened regardless. Like, eventually, you would not have been able to find all the information on Google. It would have been like a whitelisted, set of information, and the spiders would have been adjusted accordingly.
Right.
So that you wouldn't be able to pull these things up. The only reason they do it now is because there's literally no consequence for them doing so. You can fucking Google child porn, and it'll probably come up. I don't know, but I'm assuming it will.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't try it.
Let me read to you what Mr. Harold Feld, Senior Vice President, Public Knowledge, www.publicknowledge.org. This is what he said that we should be doing. Again, he said that the magic words are Title II telecommunication services. You want to classify broadband access as a Title II telecommunication service. Why? He basically says that this is like a phone call between the people involved, not something you get involved in. You're hired to move the information, not mess with it. Remember, I support Title II. Otherwise, the carriers can mess with the traffic, and we're only debating the details of how much they can mess with it. So, basically, if they actually make it go through as Title II telecommunication services, that would be the end all, wouldn't it? Or do you think they would come back eventually with some other bullshit?
They will.
Mhm.
That's how litigation, or not litigation, that's how legislation works. People talk about like anyone who proposes some like huge sweeping change to something is more often than not going to succeed. They do it little by little. They do it little at a time. They acclimate you to it, and then they dump something else, and they acclimate it again. It's like, for instance, like the gun rights debate. You know how, at least this is something I constantly hear from people who are pro-gun right or pro-gun control. They always say, "Well, I wish you gun control people would just learn to compromise a little bit, because you don't want to compromise. You just want to keep all your guns."
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. They're completely discounting the fact that there are a million laws on the books already which restrict gun ownership that are technically compromises.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing inherent in the United States law, in its original form, that ever put restrictions on people's firearms. Those restrictions came about later in time, later in the U.S.'s history, as a result of lobbying. Those were all compromises that were made.
Yep.
And they will do the same thing with the internet. They will say, well, how come we can't just, why can't we make this limitation? You made this concession last time. Or, then they'll say, the people are unwilling to compromise. You just want to be able to, torrent all of P. Diddy's songs for free with absolutely no consequences to yourself.
The entire
Said no one ever.
Like talk to my uncle Rico over here. He has everything. Been around the world. Nah, yeah.
So, I actually worry more when people propose like minor changes. I pay more attention to those than I do when people talk about shit like, you know, we're going to be
Shut the
like
internet down.
the silly shit that they do in like in Australia where they banned what was it? They banned pornography that included women with small breasts because it could have been misconstrued as pornography
Oh my
or
god.
child pornography. Like I see silly claims like that a lot less likely to happen here than I do
Mm-hmm.
claims when I see things like they're proposing now, which is basically like some sort of minor change that allows them to reclassify internet transmissions in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That shit concerns me more because of its future implementations.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I don't. It just sucks that. Well, one, it's gonna happen. Two, no one gives a fuck. And three, you can't do anything about it. Like, yeah, you can go on here, and I think everyone should go on here and fucking do this shit because at least it will put a wall up that'll make it harder for these sort of things to happen. But like you said, they're just gonna keep doing it. They have the fucking money. It's like they're gonna fucking stop. But oh my god, you were saying something and I forgot what point you were making. But I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
Oh
Well, I
man.
don't know. We have right now at this moment right here. We have the power to actually spread the word ourselves. I mean, we have a podcast, we have a Facebook page, we have Twitter. I mean, even if we just do that, I mean, we're doing our part. You know what I'm saying? And if we actually do it ourselves, if we call these people, we send emails or whatever. I mean, I just don't want to feel like I'm doing nothing. Because maybe you're right. Maybe there's nothing we can do. Maybe voting is rigged, because fuck this, I'm voting independent next time, motherfuckers. I'm voting for that other, what's that guy's name? Fucking asshole. He was
Ron Paul.
There's Ron Paul.
Oh yeah, fuck it, I'll vote for him. I don't give a shit.
He's not running anymore.
No, it was
Oh, he's not. Oh, that sucks.
there are ways that you can. I mean, voting isn't useless for one. I mean, and there's also more than one way to vote. It's not just simply, call your congressman necessarily. Although I don't think that's an unreasonable solution or an unreasonable thing to do.
Surprisingly
I
not.
think that you need to play capitalism by capitalism's rules. You can't threaten people. You can't make arguments based upon moral objections. You know what I mean? Because
Logic.
capitalism and all economies, in essence, they're not moral things. They're not ethical constructs.
Right.
They don't care. The only thing that matters to anyone in a capitalist system is the generation of revenue. So
Mhm.
if you can make an argument or you can appeal to, you know, the damage this will do to the economy, then you have a case that you can make that will be heard and listened to. But when you try to base an argument on moral grounds in a government system that is run in like basically it's just run off money.
Mhm.
I mean, that's really the only way that you can do it. And oftentimes, people have this mistaken idea that they'll be able to appeal to morality in order to get people to do things that they want them to do, and that works, but not when it comes to these kind of things.
Right.
When it comes to making legislation, especially when it has to do with the regulation of commerce, you need to be appealing to people with, commerce in mind.
Well, so what could be done then to make this beneficial to everyone? You know what I mean? Like, obviously the FCC, I don't know, or Verizon's gonna make money if this passes. How can they make money if it doesn't pass? Because obviously
Well,
that's the whole thing. Like, that's all that matters, right?
the first thing to account for is that the government will not enact any litigation or not litigation. Why do I keep saying that? It's legislation that is not going to benefit them in some way financially as well. So the fact that the FCC wants to impose this regulation means that the FCC is going to need increased overhead, and therefore the government's going to need more funding, and therefore the government is going to levy more taxes.
So people should just stop
Um,
paying their taxes.
I don't think.
No, I'm
I mean,
kidding. I'm kidding. Oh,
you could,
I
but
figured
the
it out.
IRS is relentless.
So what they have to do is make something available to the consumers that will bring in more tax revenue than if they pass this. So let's say this would bring them 10%. They would need to pass something else that would bring them at least 11%. Right?
Yeah, if there was something like that they could do to that extent that would benefit the consumer and the government, then yes.
Dude, I know exactly
Because
what it is. Legalize
oh.
child porn. Obviously. Just
I think we're all in
Google
agreement.
would make a lot of money. No, but it's not that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
When I said that it's difficult to argue on moral grounds, I was speaking of things other than extremes.
No,
That's one of those. It's not a very morally ambiguous situation, child pornography. So
no, I understand what you're saying. I was making a joke.
no, I understand. I know.
God damn it, I wasn't serious. But
I take
I'm part
everything
serious.
seriously though, to an extent.
Fuck you, NSA's on their way, bitch.
Yeah, they're already watching us. That's
Yep.
alright.
Mark Hogan, Rome, New York.
Alright, so yo, don't say my real name. My name is Butt. My name is Big Lurch. I'm in jail for eating
Big
people.
Lurch.
Alright, so how much did Colorado make in weed sales?
A lot.
Let's see.
That's enough.
$14 million in the first
Now,
month.
even though Colorado is marijuana,
You know how you were talking about that shit, Zara, about how everything like has to be done slowly? It's the same thing with marijuana, you know? All the states can't fucking do it all at once. So, state by state it's being legalized and eventually we'll get there.
Yeah, and it's like the same thing with like I always get in arguments with gay people about I shouldn't necessarily just gay people, but people who are gay rights advocates who like are insistent like the United States is like the worst place ever because we don't have gay marriage. It's like literally Nazi Germany.
Yeah, as opposed to gay like murder.
And I'm trying to I try to explain that to them. I'm like you do understand that it's happening. It's just not people can't snap their fingers overnight and make everything legal.
Why not?
The tide in the country is the tide in the country has turned to if you are not pro gay rights, then you are a bigot. That's the general population's perception.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do like you said with the what was the example you used before with marijuana, when you have stuff like this happening, it's an indication that society is changing, that people are becoming more accepting of marijuana use, and that in the next 10 or so years, it's probably going to be legal in every state.
Okay, so like how you're saying off, because that kind of corresponds to what I was thinking about earlier. Like, what the country wants is legalized marijuana plants. Hemp is another thing. Those go together. So, if what the country wants is to be able to fucking go on Netflix or YouTube and look at fucking a video from a TV show, why aren't they figuring out a way around that? It's like, obviously people want to watch TV shows for free because they've been doing it forever and they're going to continue to do it. Why don't they figure out a way to make it like less not I want to selective, like why don't they open like not obviously not give shit away for free, but it's like, yo, if I want to go on to fucking Pirate Bay and download something, which I obviously do not do because it's illegal, NSA wouldn't do it. But if I were a person who would do that, I could do it. Like I could technically go download Game of Thrones right now, or whatever, and just watch it for free. Supernatural, whatever. I'm not gonna pay for it. But I'm gonna see it one way or another. So it's like, why don't you just figure that shit out rather than worrying about, oh, we need to make sure these people don't go on Google and watch the internet because it's already free. We need to make it less free.
Private sector internet media aggregates already are doing that though to an extent. Like when you look at like Google, YouTube is like chock full of ads now. There's ads on the banners, there's ads in the fucking videos. Sometimes if the videos are sufficiently long enough, you get stopped in the middle of the fucking video for a new ad.
Yes.
I don't
Like
mind it.
they're
I don't give a
monetizing it
fuck.
in that way.
That's fine.
And they and there's like Netflix, who does basically they charge you $20 for a service, and then they use your money that you were paying them to buy content from other companies as a license, so that they can actually do that. It's like it's self-perpetuating business model basically. The reason why, like because Verizon is going to be they already are actually an internet service provider, and internet service providers are not getting very good deals here. Like just in general, they're expected to provide the infrastructure to support an increasingly large number of data trafficking, and the only thing they can do really is increase their subscription costs for their service.
Why don't they just get out of the fucking business then? It's like, oh, if I'm trying to sell fucking horseshoes today, I'm not gonna make a lot of money. I'm not like I can't go around and make fucking legislations to be like, yo, you gotta buy one horseshoe a week or else fucking it's gonna get crazy. Why don't they just get out of it?
It's the same reason that you still have a landline for one. And it's also well, I don't know if you personally have a landline, but most people have a landline in their homes. And it's also the same reason that oil companies are not switching to better, more efficient methods of energy, because all the infrastructure is already there. They have lines already set up, and they don't want to reinvest money in creating, because they're going to, if the people who run the business, who run the ISP business, are going to be getting out of it, right? Then they're going to obviously, at least in my opinion, it seems obvious that they would want to find another way to make money in a different business sector of business. So they need to, all their infrastructure needs to be sold to somebody else, assuming anybody is a buyer for these things. And then they need to reinvest more money and more capital into infrastructure for another business.
So they're gonna do it anyways, so why don't they just
Yeah.
do it now instead of fucking this shit up?
Well, instead of doing that, they're being a bunch of douchebags about it.
Do you really want ISP companies to either consistently sell themselves to an increasingly smaller number of companies that will oversee them, or either disappear entirely? Because I personally want more competition in the ISP market, because right now there is very little competition, and the service kind of sucks. Like,
It should be instant. Let's be honest.
unless you pay like $200 a month for like the best internet possible, your service is probably gonna blow.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, compared to
It's
other
gonna get
countries, like
worse.
compared to like New Zealand or Sweden or whatever, like they have pretty great internet. And it's because there's actually like, I'm honestly not sure the entire reason. I'm presuming, I'm going to like completely conjecture here. Either there's some sort of government infrastructure in place to prevent them from screwing their customers over and
Mhm.
throttling their speeds intentionally, or there's a lot of competition in their markets, and therefore they are forced to provide excellent service, or they are basically forced out of the market.
Well, so
And that's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say that it's kind of what a lot of ISP companies are kind of in a pinch right now, because Google right now is promoting their fiber optic network, and that was funny how I spaced that out. But and when Google goes through and sets up an area in your region, basically they set up a market in your region for their product that's superior to yours in every way and also costs less. You are literally being forced right out of the fucking market.
Yeah. Well, because
So
it's like I'm saying, like, oh, you're selling fucking horseshoes. No one wants fucking horseshoes anymore. We want fucking tires. Why don't you fucking start selling tires? Like, I understand their infrastructure set up, but if the market says, yo, make a better market, like make a better infrastructure, and they're not doing that, and they're forcing you into the same infrastructure but a shitty version, they're gonna go out anyways. So why not do what the people fucking want?
they're not going to go out of business if they manipulate the government into securing, not securing, but advocating for their interests, basically. If they succeed in making this system work in such a way that they are not liable for, well, necessarily not liable, they wouldn't be not liable, but they would essentially be able to throttle your internet usage in such a way that they wouldn't be able to claim deniability for whatever illegal shit you were able to access, because presumably they're either going to blacklist things that are known aggregates of illegal
high traffic
procurement, I suppose. Or
Yeah.
they're going to whitelist things in the sense that like you'll only be able to go to Facebook, Amazon, Google, etc.
So basically, it's the fucking government saying, "Yo, you're gonna step in and you're gonna do what we want you to do, but you're gonna make it look like we're doing what you want to do."
I don't know if it's that or the other way around. It could be either. I think it's more of a matter of ISP companies not wanting to have to one provide an increasingly large number of uh, or accommodate an increasingly large number of data transfers, and also at the same time being held accountable by content creators and copyright holders for the illegal procurement of their copyrighted material.
You think
And this solves both problems. They're able to throttle your speed by saying, well, or they'll throttle your data by saying you can only go here, here, and here. And they're also able to at the same time say, well, we don't have this website, allowed on our servers, or rather, they won't be able to access it if you go through our server. So they couldn't possibly have done this using our, infrastructure. Therefore, we are not liable.
this is a stupid question, but is there a possibility here? Now hear me the fuck out. You think there's a possibility that the people from AT&T or Verizon or whatever are getting lawmakers and give them a quick 20, like, yo, pass this shit right here?
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do.
Well, fuck it, we starting a Kickstarter, we're getting our own lawmaker. Fuck this shit.
I remember watching a video.
Shit
There was
works.
someone, and it was like a new person in like the Senate or something. He literally got like $1,000, and he passed a fucked up legislation in his like state or something like that for $1,000. Like, it's not like he was getting $100,000. It's like like you're gonna here just pass this fucking law, and it opened the door for some crazy shit. But it's like they're cheap as fuck if you get the right one.
Imagine if we start a Kickstarter, we just get like $500,000 and we just fucking get our own lawmaker to fucking pass every fucking thing we ever wanted. Next thing you know, we're fucking fucking downloading animal porn and shit out in the fucking
Ew.
in the library. Who gives a fuck?
That's fine.
And Anthony Nelson passed his law, bitch. We fucking gave him money. By
Well,
the way,
here's the thing. If everyone goes to wolf-pack.com and they get money out of politics, then we wouldn't even have to worry about this shit.
this is fucking stupid. But I mean, everybody knows this shit is happening. So can't they get arrested?
Surprisingly, very few people know about this.
Get the
Not
fuck out.
few, but I mean, majority-wise, they don't know anything.
But I mean, is it possible for us to, like, I don't know, sue somebody up in Congress or whoever the fuck makes
Well,
these laws?
the problem is that the way it works is that a corporation, which is a person, under Citizens United, they can donate unlimited amount of money to a political campaign, or it might be a person. There's two different things. A political campaign can be two people, so you can give $3 million to two people to do whatever you want. Therefore, you're getting your shit passed. And corporations can also donate money to individual. I think there might be a cap on individual people. I think that's what it is. So they can be like, "Yo, here's the fucking maximum amount of money one person can give you. Good thing you're in this political party, and we can give you more money
Yeah, because it's not just a one-time thing. They're gonna keep getting.
all the
Yeah,
time." Dude,
yeah.
look at the fucking revolving doors for shit like Monsanto and the FDA. Like, oh hey, you worked for the FDA, or you worked for Monsanto as a lawyer, and now you're in the FDA. Cool, passed. Like, that's just how it goes. So go to wolf-pack.com.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Hail
so
corporate.
what?
I said hail corporate.
Oh, Hal Corbett, yeah, Hail Bob. I love that guy.
I love that guy, really.
Yeah, Hail Bob, he was cool. It's it's fun times. But you know what? At least we don't got fucking AIDS and shit like that. I mean, that's kind of cool.
hmm Listen, I want to thank everybody for downloading our shit. Did you know there's people from fucking South Korea downloading our shit?
Holy shit, South Korea?
Yeah. And a Russian. I don't know who this Russian kid is, but fucking thanks, brother. Wherever the fuck you are.
It's probably because you hear Hispanic and like Asians are super racist, so they probably think it's quaint. Do you see what I did there?
Because they're in Asia.
Because they're in Asia.
That's funny. That's funny. Man.
So that,
Yeah,
okay.
thanks for everyone checking us out. Thanks for everyone who's on here right now, live. Thank you.
A lot of people.
All that.
Because Zara, thank you, Zara, by the way, you son of a bitch.
Those are.
Welcome.
You sexy beast, you. And you know, we didn't even get with like talking about philosophy or whatever. We just started talking about the internet and shit. That was crazy.
You can philosophize about the internet. I think there's a common folk misconception that philosophy is literally just like old guys with beards sitting around and talking about whether or not God exists.
That's why I grew my beard a while back. It didn't work out.
But there's like, you can literally find subjects on the philosophy of like anything. Like I've taken classes on the philosophy of science. I've taken it on the philosophy of computing and AI. I've taken lots of classes, and as a philosophy major, I am basically able to take all these classes that have varying, like, ranges of interests.
Okay, listen. Real treat right here. I'm gonna ask you a question. If you survived all of this podcast about this net neutrality and the links we're about to post up and all this shit, listen up. Zara, can you tell us things that could possibly make us be happier people? Like just simple shit we can do to fucking like not stress so much about the stupidity that's out there right now.
Well, at least for me, the one thing that keeps me, I have to understand that things couldn't be any other way, and that there's no sense in me sitting here and wringing my head about how people are stupid, or I'm not good enough to do X, or that, you know, my dick isn't big enough, or my wallet isn't big enough, or people don't like me. Like, there's so much shit that people stress themselves out over that literally they cannot change. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no way that if you are a certain way that you're going to be able to make a significant amount of change to make yourself happy. You know what I mean? Because, like, here's an example. Say that you really, really love pizza. Like, pizza's just every time you eat a pizza, you have like a brain orgasm.
The bee's knees.
But you have people who make fun of you because you're fat. So you're like, what do I value more here? Do I want to be happy eating pizza, or do I want to be happy because people think that I look pretty? And you value these things in your head, and you say, now, you know, when you think about it, if being happier, if being thin and having more people think that you were sexy would make you happier, then wouldn't it make sense that you would stop eating pizza because that would be, you know, you would make you feel better? But if you're going to keep eating the pizza, then obviously that seems to me that you would value the tactile or just the sensations of eating pizza more than you value other people's approval of your body shape or whatever. So, like, why get angsty over it, and why even just eat your fucking pizza? There's gonna be people out there who don't give a shit whether or not you're fat. If you love your fucking pizza, then eat your fucking pizza and be happy and stop stressing out over it.
Nice.
And I think that people have so many contradictory attitudes and contradictory behaviors towards things because they either don't know what they actually want, or they think they want something because other people have suggested it to them and they've internalized the psychology of others.
Huh.
For example?
Like, when I say internalize the psychology of others, I mean, like, you have these people, and I'm sure, I mean, both of you probably know these types of people who literally, like, eat, sleep, and breathe their health. Like, they refuse to, they won't go out drinking, they won't smoke, they won't, eat food that's fattening or whatever. And they just constantly are sitting there like, oh, I'm so happy, my diet makes me so happy, I'm so healthy, I have so much energy and shit. And you're sitting there and you're kind of like, sometimes you're just like, man, I wish I was like that. They seem so much happier than I do.
Right.
And to me, that just seems strange, because if that was what would have made you happy, then wouldn't that have been like, it seems to me that you would have already known. You would have been
doing
like,
it.
Yeah, you'd have been like, well, I feel like shit, and I think that maybe it's the food that I'm eating, and I'm going to come to the conclusion on my own that I should probably try something else, right? But that often isn't the case.
I think the problem with that is that people come to their own conclusion.
they
You know
come
what I
to their
mean?
own conclusion based off of what other people think, though, is the thing. It's like people are very, very heavily influenced by the world around them,
True. True.
and as someone who is almost pathologically contrarian, I guess, in the sense that whenever somebody tells me something, I always am very skeptical of it if it isn't something that I've already sort of determined to be reasonable. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Because I have a really high confidence in my own judgment, and I don't think a lot of people do have a high confidence in their own judgment to the extent that
Yeah.
they are able to
Be
separate
manipulated.
themselves from things. Well, yeah, that's what kind of what I was getting at. But like, there are obviously people who are very, very stubborn, even if they are wrong constantly. They're very stubborn in their beliefs, but I don't necessarily think that that's a sign of confidence. I think that being stubborn about something is equally likely to be about confidence and also about being simply uh, easily swayed in the other sense, if you know what I mean. Like you're convinced to a point of view, and then at that point, once you've been convinced of that point of view, you're very reluctant to relinquish it because it means that you have to relinquish a bunch of other similar beliefs that may be beneficial to you. It's why people are so insistent upon sticking to religious beliefs even when they're presented with evidence to the contrary. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're right. If God doesn't exist, then God doesn't hate me for having sex outside of wedlock. But at the same time, if God doesn't exist, then there's no omnipotent, all-seeing being that loves me unconditionally. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So you decide: do I want to be loved more by this omnipotent, all-loving being, or do I want to be accepted for being a slut? And most people are gonna say, I want to keep believing in God because I want to keep being loved by this omnipotent, all-loving, all-seeing, all-knowing being.
What's funny is that you are that being. Oh shit.
My God.
Yeah, I think that. Okay, so is it like internalizing the self projection of others?
I guess I kind of dodged your actual question when you said that. I didn't dodge it intentionally, but you said, I think the question you asked me was, what do you mean by internalizing the psychology of others, right? That's what you asked me?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Okay,
Something like that.
so
Sounds about
Yeah.
right.
what I mean by that in more direct terms is somebody else uh, somebody else appears to you to be a certain way. Say, for instance, like
Red shirts and
Cesar
skins.
Cesar gets the impression that I am deeply insecure about my penis size, for instance.
I believe.
So he internalizes that, and he believes that because he believes that I am insecure about my penis size, that either most people are also insecure about their penis sizes, or that he should be too. You know what I mean? So it's one of
Uh
those
huh.
like they think this way, so why shouldn't I? Only it's done in like it's like a double whammy because you're literally assuming or conjecturing a reason for somebody else's behavior and then internalizing that as your own, like a justification for your own behavior. It's like the inverse of projection. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
So
okay,
when you
yeah, yeah,
project, you're basically saying, I feel this way, so therefore you must feel this way. That's projection. When I say internalizing, I'm basically saying that you think somebody else feels this way, so you feel like you should feel that way too.
yeah. Ah, I see what.
It's
I
it's
get you.
crazy how it's like you get up in the morning and you do what you got to do, and everybody around you has like this fucking tornado of thoughts in their mind. Why can't people just walk and be calm? I bet you they are thinking about this shit. Like whatever the fuck it is that how you were saying kind of mirrors and shit. It's like, oh shit, well, Zara thinks she has a small wiener or whatever, so that means everybody else is probably thinking the same thing. It's put that with a different subject or whatever, and a lot of people are doing this shit. Is there a way to not do that?
I
I
would say like reading and shit, right? Like learning. You know
I
what I mean?
honestly interact with other people. Here's the thing, like I'm introverted in the sense that I prefer my own company to the company of others, but I go out of my way to get other people's perspectives on things so that I have a more less conceptual and more real view of the world and the way people think and the way people act. And when I talk to other people, and I come to realize things either that other people have the same sort of insecurities that I do,
Penis.
or alternatively, they don't. So that allows me to dichotomize my problems or my insecurities or however you want to put them, things that cause me stress. I'm able to dichotomize them into things that either affect all people, which means if they affect everyone, they don't seem like they should affect me to the extent that they're affecting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if, eh, like say everybody I know is fat, and I'm also fat, so I'm sitting here and I'm like stressing out and being, you know, all self-conscious about how fat I am, and then I look around and realize everybody else is fat too. Would you, logically, or I shouldn't even say logically, but rationally, do you think that it would make more sense that I shouldn't feel so bad about that?
Yes.
Right.
So I do that with everything, to the extent that, like if I'm having a bad day because I did something stupid, like say I said something really awkward in front of somebody, and I feel bad because I'm going to remember this forever, and then I'm like, there are a million people out there who have said, they called their teacher mom and stuff when they were a kid, and they're probably really embarrassed about that too.
Oh, I hate when I did that. I did it once. Fuck.
So when
Fuck
I say
that.
that, I put that in perspective, and I'm like, I really shouldn't feel so bad about this stupid little thing that I did. And as a
Right.
consequence of this pattern of thinking, at least I perceive myself to be a lot less influenced by the social pressures of others because I'm not necessarily invested in my appearance
So was it like
as
a trial and
much.
error type of shit with you where you would constantly, or not constantly, but you would think like, why am I doing what I'm doing now? Is it because I want to do it myself, or is it because I want people to perceive me in this manner? So maybe I don't know. I'm asking, did you have to do a trial and error where you would actually catch yourself like doing something that you didn't want to do, and eventually you just kind of do it for yourself?
Oh, of course. I mean, I spend most of my childhood basically just doing things because because my mom would express she was proud of me, and that was the thing that I wanted more than anything in the world,
Mm,
because my parents were never around very much. They worked a lot.
right.
So whenever I did get that parental attention, or that the external reinforcement from others, it made me really excited. I was like, I'm gonna keep doing more of this because it gets me more of that. But then at a certain point, I realized that things that I was doing weren't necessarily making me happy. I didn't want to do them at the time. I was doing them for some external validation later on that really didn't have much substance to it. I I have a very, at least in my opinion, I think it's a very strong affinity for, I like mathematics and I like music. They're the two things I'm interested in. And mathematics is simply an extension of, it's human logic really. And I like patterns. I like logic-based puzzles and riddles and stuff. So I don't know how to explain it really. 'Cause it's not like most people, they can explain like the rush they feel, or like the wind in their face when they're skiing or something. For me, I actually like literally get a mental rush when I'm doing mathematics problems or logic problems. It's like doing drugs to an extent.
Huh.
And I don't think that a lot of people are like that. So I think that's kind of hard to relate to others in that way. But that's sort of a tangent. I found those things more interesting. I found mathematics and I found music interesting, but those were never the things that my parents wanted me to find interesting. You know what I mean? I got rewarded. I didn't get rewarded for doing well in these things. I got rewarded well for, you know, performing in other ways, because my parents didn't want me to be a mathematician, or they didn't want me to be a musician. They wanted me to be basically like a high powered CEO or something. A very extroverted type of person, alpha male. Um,
Yep.
because they both grew up poor and they recognized my intellectual endowments early. And so they're, as people who, they hear about Bill Gates, are like, this dude was a genius and he's worth billions now. So that's what we need. We want him to be that. And I'm sure for their own self-interest reasons, but I'm sure they also convinced themselves that me being happy would be better for them because they were my parents.
Right.
So because mathematicians don't get, you don't get paid, you get paid good money for doing things with a mathematical background, but like in and of itself, not all that much money. You get a lot more money going into like engineering, or going into business, than you do mathematics.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so that isn't like, when people ask me like, well, what are you going to do with that? Especially my parents are like, what are you going to do with a degree in mathematics, or what are you going to do with a degree in philosophy? And those are the things that I care about. I care about philosophy in the form of, in logical structure, and I care about mathematics in, as I explained it already. Um,
Getting off.
My
So, so when I do those things, people ask me, "What are you going to do with that?" It's like I do it because I enjoy it. I'm not doing it because I want to make money with it, and I presume that's going to be a consequence of doing what I like doing. Because if I like doing something, then I'm going to do it well. And no matter what you do in life, if you do it well, you will be able to make money doing it.
my sister is having a hard time right now. She's 19 years old. She obviously, well, she has a job.
Is she
And my mom,
single?
I don't know. I should ask her.
Well,
No,
I'll
but you
ask her.
aren't.
Yeah, I know.
No,
What's
fuck.
wrong with you, you asshole?
Damn it. Sorry.
Anyways, she's having a hard time right now because she doesn't really know what to do with her life, as most 19-year-olds don't. Um, she's working, she's making money, she's going to school. I think she wants to be a teacher. I don't know if she's being a teacher because she wants to. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. She does want to be a teacher. She told me she wants to help kids. However, my mother, who is a controlling, I'm not going to say what she is because I don't know if Miss Hogan is listening right now, and I don't want to offend her.
Controlling lady.
Yes, let's just say that much. She is very controlling, and she's telling her like, "Why are you doing this? You know, teachers don't make that much money. You know, basically the whole money thing." And what advice would you give any teenager at around this age where they don't know what they want to do with their life, and yet they're not doing anything really bad? I mean, it's not like they're bumming out, you know, doing crack cocaine or being sluts or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with being a slut, by the way. I mean, if you're single and you like sex, you do whatever the fuck you want. That's not my problem. My problem is, what do you do when it's your life that you want to control, and yet there's a third party who wants to tell you what you should be doing with your life?
Well, I'm of the opinion that people can be misinformed about what they actually want. So I'm assuming I'm going to take for granted, right? I'm taking this for granted. This may or may not be true. That your sister is fully aware of what a teaching job entails and what that means. She's aware of the, the at times frustrating environment that you'll be put in because of the way that the school bureaucracy works.
I'm
She's
get
aware of the fact that she's not going to be making a shitload of money. I'm assuming that she's doing it because knowing all of these things, knowing all of this information, she still thinks that this is going to be something she's going to really enjoy doing.
I'm guessing so, considering um I think they have her like on this trial thing. Not really a trial thing, but you know, you get to go to the school and you're like an assistant and you see firsthand what you're going to experience when you yourself become a teacher.
Yo, I
But
have a
Right.
question real quick. Would you be mad if she turned out to be one of those chicks who's like a teacher, who's like the hot teacher who makes out with the little kids? Not the little
um
kids, I mean the younger.
are they of age?
They're of age for her.
I mean, if it's not illegal, then what the fuck? What do I care? It's her life.
And she's still single?
This is just me talking. I don't know. I really
See,
thought my
you
sister.
learn a lot about somebody by how they word things. He didn't ask if she was hot. He asked if she was single, which means I can take this two ways. I can take that he doesn't care how ugly somebody is. He'll do anything.
He's gonna dress up as a
Or
name.
I can assume that he asked because he's a very sensible person who doesn't want to hurt the man's feelings if she isn't single.
Oh, you're a nice
Listen,
guy.
if she looks anything like Cesar. What were you saying? What were you saying, by the way?
Cut chain.
I'm just kidding. I'd kiss you. I'd give you a nice smooch.
Me?
Come on.
And it's been done.
To answer your question, I
So-
finally answer your question.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I would, if she's convinced that that's what she wants to do and she knows all of the things that it comes with, then I would say that she probably wouldn't be happy doing anything else. And I think that if you're not happy doing something, then you're going to be shitty at it. Like, there's a difference between, I've known the difference. I've, been in and out of school a lot. And there's a difference between teachers who legitimately love their job and you can tell in how they teach versus the ones that take up a teaching job because they majored in something in college just to get their degree, not even because they had a passion or whatever, but just because they wanted the degree.
Right.
And then they're like, well, I am not qualified to do anything and I'm in debt, so I need a job. So let's get my teaching certificate and start rolling in some income while teaching kids half-assed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's a difference between the two, and I think that if you really want to be a teacher, then there's not going to be anything else you can do and be happy. In the same way that I don't think that I could have gone another way. I don't think that I could have been like, I'm not going to major in mathematics or psychopath philosophy. I'm going to major in business and finance. I don't think I could have done it. Like, that just wouldn't have been me.
Ultimately, when you know, you just fucking know.
So, like, I try not to get myself, like, because people, I mean, you have no idea the kind of intellectual elitism that comes in that kind of setting, where if you tell somebody that you're majoring in something that isn't vocational, they'll like look at you like you're a fucking retard and like, well, how are you gonna make money? You're gonna be in debt, lol. And it's like, well, I mean, this is aside the point, but I'm not gonna be in debt. But like,
Oh.
it's it's one of those things where it's just like you don't you don't know how to respond to that unless you actually like think about it in any significant amount of time, or for any significant amount of time, and like determine that it's really something you love. Because if you start having doubts about what you're doing simply because other people are criticizing you for it, then either your passion for it wasn't that high in the first place, or you're an exceptionally impressionable person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if your need for external validation is so high that pursuing your dreams and your goals come secondary to pleasing others, then pleasing others is going to be your dreams and goals anyway.
I'm not necessarily worried about her either because, just like you said, I mean, anybody that's that easily impressionable, they would have already listened to their mom already and be like, okay, mom, I'll do whatever, I'll be that engineer, I'll do whatever. But she's like, in her own, I don't want to say in her soul, but I think she's just fighting herself. Like, what should I do? Like, she knows what she wants to do, but I don't think she wants to upset anybody in the process.
Well, that's the thing. You're talking about a conflict between the desire for external validation and the desire for internal validation. And what separates me from a lot of people, I think, is that I do not have a very high I don't have a very high need for external validation. People can like me or they can hate me, and I don't care. And I don't think that's a lot of case for a lot of people. And I don't just say that because I think I'm some special, unique snowflake that is above everybody else. It's because I can tell by the way people talk, and I can tell by the way that they act. They say things in pleasing ways to make sure other people don't hate them for it. They sugarcoat things all the time, and I think if you're sugarcoating something to somebody, then that means intrinsically that you care more about what their opinion of you is, you care more about their feelings than you do about expressing yourself accurately. As I said before, before we were recording, I think is when I told you that.
Right. Do you do that in relationships as well?
To the extent that I've had relationships, yes.
Okay. So you're just very blunt, or
It's not even about being blunt. It's about not being deceptive. And I don't necessarily. People hear deception and they think it's a bad thing, but it's not always a bad thing. There are good reasons to deceive someone to make them. If there's absolutely, say for instance, you hear your dad's dying words, and he says your brother is a fucking retard, and I've always hated him. What good does it do anybody to tell your brother Dad said this about you? Dad said you're a retard.
right?
Like, that doesn't do anybody any good.
Like, hey Cesar, hey Ricky, what was Dad's words? You're a fucking moron.
He hates you. Dad hated you.
Yeah, he thinks you're a piece of shit.
Dude, he was like, I'm so glad I'm dead because then I will not have to fucking listen to him
I'll never
talk
have to see
ever
him again.
Thank fucking God.
He told me that he wanted you to be a girl.
I hope there's a heaven and you go there and I go to hell so I never have to see you again.
No, that's
And the
happened.
torture of being in hell is less than being around you in real life.
I think that every thought that you could fucking imagine just about has already happened. So I bet you this has already happened, like in history. And like the brother told the other brother, like Dad wanted you to be a girl, and then that
Dude,
physically fucked with him, right? And then like he started dressing as a woman, and like this probably happened in 1785 or something. And he's just being like this man whore to other men.
Yo, dude, that's happening right now. Do you have a brother named Ricky?
Well, my dad told me to tell him that.
You have a sister who used to be named Ricky.
Yeah.
Well, somewhere in the multiverse, you had a brother named Ricky and you didn't tell him.
Ricky is that girl. Yep.
Oh, Ricky's your fucking 19-year-old sister?
That's right.
Dude, that bitch.
Right.
She needs to stop going to school and she needs to
Just work them legs.
She needs to find Jesus So she does not hang out with your dad. Your dad does not want her going to hell, because that's where he's going.
Man.
Sorry.
What was the original? Oh no.
It's not about.
The original question was. Oh no, I was talking about internal versus external validation. No. So. Right. There are deceptions and there are lies that are told that are probably for everyone's best interests. But like ones that aren't, like ones that have some sort of cost to me, I'm going to say outright. Like when somebody, because like you'll have occasions where somebody will ask you like, "What do you think about this?" And like some people get the initial impression to say, "I'm going to tell them that it's the right thing to do because it's what they want," and I don't want them to have second doubts about what they think, and I'm not that kind of person. If I think that like if you're like I'm gonna go skydiving and if I'm like, well, this is just completely, conjecture, or not even conjecture, it's completely false because I know this isn't the case. If you skydive, there's a 75% chance you'll die. I'm not gonna be like, you should go skydiving because it's your dream. I'm gonna tell you that's for fucking retarded and you should stay home and play video games. And people often will expect you, they will ask you a question or they'll ask you for your advice simply to get validation on your opinion because they know that most people, and I shouldn't even say they know this, but it's commonly accepted that most people will probably tell them follow your heart, do what you want, etc. Now, as that pertains to like your sister, and I mean, I basically just said that. I said that she's not going to be happy doing anything else. That doesn't mean that she's not going to have hardship. As I said, as an instance, I'm taking it for granted that she is going to have that kind of hardship. She has to weigh that. I'm not going to tell her, oh, it's going to be great. You're going to enjoy work. The kids are going to love you. You're going to have a great job. Blah 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 blah.
Your dad's gonna love you.
Like, I'm just going to tell you, if you know everything that the job entails, and you still find it exciting and you're still excited to do it, then that's the only thing you're going to be able to do. Or I shouldn't say the only thing, but it's going to be the only thing you're going to really want to do.
One thing that I want to stress to people is that whatever your profession is, I don't think that doesn't really define you. Or it shouldn't, anyways, in my opinion.
It depends. If it's something you really care about, then sure, why not? Like, why, if it, like...
But, like, for example, let's say you work at fucking Denny's. Like, you're not just a Denny's worker, you have a life. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah, but how many people work at Denny's because they fucking love the Denny's franchise?
You don't know that. I mean, hey, we were talking
Well, but yeah, but then it would
Possibly.
define them because they'd be like, yo, I love it.
I think it's just a matter of who you are. Like, if you see yourself as a teacher first and foremost, then you're going to say, I'm a teacher. If you were a teacher who was, in a band on the side but really loves music, you're going to say, I'm a musician. You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's just that it's colloquially understood that when somebody asks, what do you do, or, what are you, then you're going to answer with your profession, because that's just how our culture works. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
but I think the best way to figure, to be, okay, so your sister's like, should I fucking do this? So, does she have a job right now outside of, doing teaching?
Yes, she does.
Okay, so if she lost her job right now, would she continue to become a teacher?
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
There you go, that's what's up.
Just like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Would you continue to try and, Zara, if you lost everything that you had, my house burned down, my parents were in the house, and they took all my money in there, and now I'm in debt. Would you continue to work towards being a math wizard or whatever you're doing? Philosopher, wizard, mathematician. That's what it is.
Wizard?
Yeah.
Actually, somebody misspoke and referred to it as mathematician, and I actually really like that title. And that's I told them. I said that's going to be my title. I'm going to put that on my business cards.
You should.
It's going to be Brock Christensen, mathematician.
Brock the douche.
I do magic with math.
The Brock.
The Brock.
The Brock, math magician. But would you continue to do that? If you were in debt and you lost everything you had, would you keep doing it?
I probably wouldn't be. I'd probably be focusing on, securing the lower tier of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is food and shelter.
Okay, well, you could get that because you got a shitty job. At Denny's.
Well, then, yeah, of course I would.
Yeah.
Because after nourishment and, all that other stuff comes health and then, philosophical fulfillment.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily philosophical, but spiritual fulfillment is what they like to call it, but...
So once you stabilize your foundation of whatever the
Yeah. Once you survive, once you can subsist, then you subsist, and then you exist, and then you thrive. And I think at the point where I'm existing, which is that, and I don't mean existing literally, I mean existing in the sense that I'm not struggling. I'm able to afford to live a comfortable lifestyle.
Well, no,
Then
it
I
wouldn't.
say,
Well, no, but it wouldn't be comfortable.
if it wouldn't be comfortable, then I would want to do what would ever make me like what would make, if I'm comfortable, and comfortable is relative. If when you say I'm uncomfortable, like when I'm thinking of uncomfortable, I'm thinking literally like homeless, living in, not even having a car to
Oh.
live in, living on like streets and shit.
Oh, okay, all
Because
right. I mean, like,
I'm
yo,
not
you're
like,
eating fucking cardboard. Like, yo, you
if
got
that's the case,
food,
then I,
but
yeah.
it's pretty shitty.
If I'm in cardboard, then I care more about getting it. I'd sell out for money basically at that point. Is
No,
what
I
I'm
mean
saying.
you're eating cardboard, not like real cardboard. Like it's toasted or it's like fried.
Domino's pizza.
Yeah, there you go, something like that.
The pizza's actually a lot
99
better now, but I
Yeah,
remember when
the
it was before.
99 proof podcast brought to you by Pizza Hut.
We don't fuck around. Get them wings, bitches.
That's
That was a horrible plot.
it's true. You need to do that. Wings. Get your wings wherever you go.
Fuck.
What
Well,
would what would you
Zara,
do, Cesar?
what would I do? I would just like he's saying, stabilize your fucking life first. Because if you think about it, I honestly think that the reason why we don't have, like, you know, especially in the field that I work in, I see a lot of people who aren't stable. Their foundation isn't stable. They're never comfortable. And they kind of get used to it. So they stay there and they think this is as good as it's going to get, but it can get better. Once you get to that place where you feel comfortable with your life, you can actually think about, okay, now what do I want to do with my life? Like, I'm not struggling anymore. Now, all the bills are paid. I got money saved up. Now what the fuck do I do? Now you can actually work on building your life. It's a foundation that you have to fucking make to begin with. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that and they're buying Jordans. You know how fucking stupid that shit is? They don't have that and they're buying iPhones. Like, what the fuck? Get your shit together. Why the fuck are you fucking around? It's
Yeah,
stupid.
I was thinking about that earlier. Like, I don't understand why people fucking worry about buying like shoes and shit like that. Like, it's not gonna impress. I mean, it probably will impress the opposite sex to some degree. Like, yo, I'm a dude. I'm buying fucking Jordans. The only other people it's really going to impress are other dudes. And why are you worried about fucking impressing people with your clothes? I don't know. I see that all the fucking time. Like, people just worrying about like, oh, I need to get the newest fucking hat or whatever people buy. I don't know. It's like, oh, I got the
We're
newest fucking blue hat. Everyone likes me now.
I get a rush out of being frugal sometimes.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up. Like,
Like,
oh
get
man, what
whatever
the
you
fuck?
need, buy like a cheap. Like, Iris was telling me about this one website, and like you can buy like your Converse shoes that are normally like $80 for like 30. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You save $50 and you get those shoes?
Yo, that's what's up. I bought two
Okay.
awesome two hookers for $3. They one was Ricky and the other one
Ricky,
was myself.
son of
Ricky.
one came with Domino's pizza.
Yep. I got two big ass warm sleeping bags that like connect together and like ground mats for like camping. ten
For me,
dollars.
for me and you.
WrestleMania?
For me and you,
Oh yeah,
WrestleMania.
for me and you, we're gonna fuse together
And we're going
until
to
we get real hot.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, we are.
We
But nah, dude,
definitely.
like $10 for that. That you would have paid $10 for one fucking mat.
I think
Awesome.
Zara's. Aren't you frugal too, dude?
Yeah, massively.
Oh, I fucking loves. Me and Zara have a love for this very cheap beans that come in a can.
Do you guys ever dock?
What? We're talking about food.
I like food.
Wait, no, we don't. We talk about it. I don't even think you've tried them though.
Yo, do
No,
you
I don't
guys
like. I'm not a really big fan of beans. I
beans are
told you
good for
that.
your heart. If you eat them, they'll make your heart strong.
Right.
Yeah, because I know Zara. Zara is. Ladies, if you want a man with money, Zara's the man.
But
Yeah,
if you want
definitely.
beans, don't go to him. He does
No.
not have beans.
Yet.
Would you buy beans for the right crotch?
The right, like, am I gonna put the beans on the crotch?
I don't know what you do.
Am I trading the beans
Yo,
for the crotch?
yo, I'm not worried about what you do. You can do that if that's what you're into. I'm just saying, would you buy those beans?
Probably not.
Oof. Alright, ladies, if you like beans, stay away.
Come to me.
There you go.
I'm the beans guy.
Cesar, he knows his beans.
It's stupid because fucking the beans that I like have my face on them. Like it's literally like this Mexican guy with his tongue out. It's fucking hilarious.
What are they called?
They're called ranch style beans.
Ranch style beans?
Yeah, like just put that in Google, and then like the label is yellow and black, and then like the picture of the kid that's Mexican is like, it's like fucking right there. It's
I see it. Oh, that's
see that
funny.
shit? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Oh,
and it,
yeah. Fucking ranch
Like-
style fucking...
like I don't understand how people can go to a store and outright pay like $50 for a fucking shirt. Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, they are.
Stupid. You can go to like Ross or something, or TJ Maxx, or any of those out overstock stores or whatever. Dude, the other day I bought a $7 shirt for like $15, brand new.
That's
You
It
bought a
was
$7 shirt for $15?
70,
Oh, okay. I think you said 7. I was like,
and it's a nice shirt. It's a work shirt. It's fucking nice. And why pay $70
I bought a
a
fucking...
fucking shirt?
Yo, what is that? Abercrombie and Fitch?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
is. They have these fucking like zip up like hoodies, like long sleeve hoodies, and they're like super thick. They're like $230.
Yeah.
I paid $4.
What?
Yeah.
Some white kid in fucking some white kid in Rhode Island is pissed the fuck off right now. Fuck. Wasn't that even the kid? His mom's listening to this.
He probably died. I don't know, man. Most of the
Wow.
most of the stuff that I get is from like places like Savers or something like that. I assume those people are just dead.
From where?
what if they're so rich that they just have like way too many $200 sweaters
Yeah, and they just give him.
and they had to give one away
Yeah.
to
That's-
the poors?
No way. It's no because it was like an Abercrombie and Fitch. They would not give that shit away.
You
gotta
know
be, you gotta be perfect.
Millionaires are like, I only wear it once. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like
true.
I saw this fucking that shit made me laugh. I saw this fucking special. It's like the MTV Cribs, whatever, and it was like Damon Dash, the guy who was fucking I think he was like the man.
Jay-Z's guy.
So this asshole, this jackass, he has like brand new socks like in a drawer, right? And he's like, I don't wear them unless the tag's still on them. And then he pops the tag. That's what popping tags is. You just pop the tag. I wear them once. Why should I wash them? I throw them away. 2 years later, that bitch is broke as fuck. That guy, that guy looks like that one homo, the hobo guy with the voice. The I forgot his name.
Yeah. Who the singer?
Yeah, he was grungy looking. He was pissed off at life. Like, okay, bitch, are you still popping tags, you dumb fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like, how fucking who the fuck do you think you will pop tags on socks? Go fuck yourself.
Well, like, I've had socks for years. I wear the fuck out of socks. Like I had a pair of shoes that I probably wore for like 5 years. And I threw them out finally because I was getting water in the back. Cause
I got you
fucking
beat.
soles.
I have shoes that I've had since like I think 8 years now.
Yo.
I'm wearing them still right now.
Post a picture. I fucking saw this guy's shoes.
Did I send you the picture of my
Yes,
shoes?
me and Zara were talking about shoes one day, and he's like, check out my shoes.
I just busted the fuck up.
Yo, fucking Goro from Mortal Kombat fucked the shit out of these shoes. Like,
Give me a
times.
picture.
These, oh wow. But, I mean, hell, that's what shoes are for.
Yeah, and yep, that's what's up.
That's what the fuck they're for.
Like we go to fucking We go to like a place around here called Savers. It's kind of like the Salvation Army, but not. They don't hate gays, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, cool. I like that.
And like, I
Oh,
mean,
they have.
they like
They have
I usually buy like shirts and shit there, but you can get so much shit there. Like Katie found a like $200 painting, $2.
dude.
Yeah, you can get like dishware and shit like that. Oh my god, I found the fucking coolest. I forgot what they're called. It's like a geometrical picture, but it's done with yarn, and it's like it like changes colors. Like it doesn't change colors by like it's like a gradient. It was like it's the coolest thing I've ever fucking found. It was like $2. Like
So is safe. Is Savers kind of like the what was it? This place that
Goodwill.
yeah, like Goodwill. What's the difference?
They're cheaper, and they're not like they might be privately owned. I don't
I
know.
I donated like bags of clothes
Yeah.
uh, to that other one, not Savers, but the other one. And I mean, I didn't know they didn't like gay people. Now I feel like an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still shop there because that's where I got that shirt from. But like, yeah, they're because they're from the Catholic, the Christian Church. One of them.
Huh. Well, how about
I
that?
mean, not fan gay people. I
I'm
love
looking.
gay. I love
I'm
gay
looking.
guys.
Let me tell you something. I'm looking for a Mega Man shirt. If you bitches find it at Savers, I'll pay you double what you find it for.
I found it for $50.
Shit, you can go fuck yourself with that
You want a Mega Man shirt?
Mega Man shirt.
All right. I've seen those before. Here's the best way to do it: is you go to
Google.
you go to eBay and you put a Mega Man shirt. Bam, $3, done.
Read like a soldier.
And that is cool as fuck. I'm gonna get myself a Mega Man shirt,
Zara.
and it's gonna just be a picture of like one blue. It's gonna be like 6 blue pixels, and in the middle it's gonna be a black one. It's his butthole.
The fuck?
What?
You're strange, man.
Yeah.
I took it too far.
There is a fucking Mega Man shirt for $3.
Yeah, dude, that one looks cool as fuck. You know why? Because Bass is the fucking man, or Bass.
Alright, I found the picture.
I know you can make your own shirt, like you take a picture and take it to the mall and some asshole will make you a fucking. But I don't know about all that.
Yo,
bullshit.
you want a cool Easy E shirt? I made one once.
Easy E T-shirt?
Yeah, $20.
See, Zara. Yes, those are the shoes. Look at those shoes.
Oh man, those are beat the fuck up.
I'm
I'm
telling you.
wearing those right now.
Nice.
I have a question. Why did you go with straps and not laces?
Yes.
One, I didn't buy them. I fully endorsed the straps, by the way, because laces are a bitch and they come undone.
That's true.
And
Straps?
Velcro shoes never do. I can tie my shoes. I have a pair of boots that have a bunch of shit that I have to tie that takes me like 5 minutes to fucking tie. Because there's like, yeah, they're really huge boots.
Yeah,
Anyway.
my shoes suck.
Laces are overrated.
And those are my mom bought me those when I was 15, and those are women's shoes because I have thin feet.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
Wow. And you still rocking them.
Yep.
They're so fucking beat up though they look like men's shoes.
There you go. Just
Yo,
give me
let's-
second hand.
Let's plug this shit so we can go home already. By the way, Zara,
Yes.
Mark, when are we having that drunk cast again? In May?
Baby, we can have it whenever you want.
I knew that. Zara, join us for our next drunk cast.
Okay.
You gotta get drunk though.
Of course.
We'll see.
Oh.
I kind of like. I shouldn't say I didn't swear off alcohol. I swore off getting drunk after like the weekend I spent in San Francisco when I got really fucked up.
Oh, that was that one time you were supposed to show up but you didn't?
No, I did show up.
No, here.
What do you mean? No.
It was another time?
I know you invited me to a drunk cast once before, but then I was online and you never like got to me, so I just sort of assumed that you either weren't doing it or you were too drunk to care, and I was like, whatever, I'll go to bed, and I went to bed
Oh.
because I've been awake for like
Oh.
3 days.
You broke his heart. You son of a bitch.
I didn't take it personally whatsoever.
I'm sorry.
Well,
You
maybe
shouldn't be.
that's the problem.
Yeah, you should be making rants about me on Facebook.
Why?
I don't know. Just saying. That's what normal people do.
Yeah, but normal people are fucking retarded.
That is very
Don't you
true.
want to be normal?
Not even a little.
So wait, what happened when you got drunk the last time in San Francisco? And by the way, I really want to hear this because it's San Francisco.
It wasn't just drinking, and it wasn't just San Francisco. I was in basically the entire Bay Area, but it was in San Francisco where I think it was, what was it? It was some sports game. I think it was the 49ers versus the Seahawks.
Nice.
And I was strung out in a McDonald's, like waiting to get a coffee, and this dude was just like, I think he was drunk too. I presume he's drunk because he acted as a drunk person would act. It was in a McDonald's, and the guy asked, he was like making fun of the kid at the counter who had a very effeminate voice. And he was like mocking him and shit, and I was like giving him a death glare kind of because he was being a dick. And he looks at me and he's like, "What the fuck are you looking at, freak?" And so I made fun of him, and then he swings at me, and so I clock him in the fucking face and realize that I just like floored a drunk guy in the middle of McDonald's, and I ran like 4 fucking blocks away from the scene of the crime.
Yo, Google that shit in San Francisco. I bet you they're still looking for your ass.
They're not gonna find me. I'm way long gone. But no, that was like and then I like threw up in my hotel room and shit.
What?
Not like after that, but I threw up in my hotel room independently of that, and I realized that it was like really fucking sad that I was like, one, I'm like beating up drunk strangers, in McDonald's.
And that's the best place to beat up a drunk stranger.
And then I'm going into my hotel room to drink and puke everywhere. So it was like, this is a low point in my life.
You would have been such a fucking boss if, like, after you knocked them out, you would have just gone and be like, yeah, let me get that 20 piece.
No, I want whatever he had. I'm not paying.
And an apple pie.
Had you not run, they would have hooked you up.
Yeah, I think so. Like, thanks, dude.
They do not give a fuck.
Let me put it this way: when you're strung out, you're not exactly in your best state of judgment. So I wasn't like, maybe they'll think I'm a hero for punching this dude out. It was like, no, the cops are gonna show up, and I'm gonna get in trouble for assault, and I'm gonna be charged with something in a state that I'm not a resident of, and bad things are gonna happen.
Even if they would have hooked you up, you would have still had to pay extra for like barbecue sauce or ranch.
Yeah, fuck. That's like what, 10 cents now for fucking condiments?
You think they are 10 cents? No, go fuck yourself. But that ranch
much
good.
Don't eat there, and you're all set.
There you go.
Bam.
Okay.
Thank
you, Scott. Thank you very much, Zara. You are a great friend.
I know.
Great friend.
Hopefully you'll join us for the drunk cast next month. And
I will. I don't think there's gonna be anybody around for me to punch.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna send someone. I'm gonna send a Domino's pizza delivery man to your house, and and I'm gonna tell him it's gonna be like, yo, he's gonna bring you a cheese pizza, but it's gonna be anchovies, and you better punch that motherfucker.
We're promoting Pizza Hut, and you're over here fucking delivering Domino's to this asshole.
Because I want them to get fought.
Ah.
What'd you say, Zara? I bought somebody Papa John's once over the internet. Like, I went and entered my credit card in, and I was like, deliver to this address, and I delivered to their address, and they're like, somebody just showed up and told me that there was a pizza paid for, and I was like laughing my ass off because they were confused and trying to figure out who it was. Like, I bought somebody a pizza with my own money just to prank them.
That's the best prank ever. Free pizza, yeah! You got pranked, son.
I wonder if you can like pay with your credit card like a male gay escort and like send it to somebody who is like very that would be awesome.
I don't think they have hooker delivery services quite yet.
Not necessarily a hooker. I mean, they could just be a dancer. They could bust out with a
massage therapist
with a boombox and shit. Yeah, and be like, I heard somebody ordered a pizza. And then sausage comes out, whatever. I don't know.
Order the meat lovers.
What?
I said who ordered the meat lovers.
Yeah.
Extra sausage. And
then the midgets are in the background with like fucking, I don't know, Roman candles.
I love that porno.
You actually reminded me of a time that I almost got fucking beat when I was in high school. Because, like, It was actually really funny because I used to spend a lot of time like doing like just sitting in my room and playing games and like going on the internet. And my dad used to constantly make fun of me for being a loser that didn't have a life. And then
That
like
seems real nice.
Yeah,
no,
he's doing awesome.
when I turned 16, when I turned 16, I started like I actually had like a lot of friends at that point. And I was like, I went out practically every day to hang out with my friends. And like at one point, my dad's like, "Where the hell are you going?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go bowling with midgets and snort cocaine off the asses of hookers. Where do you think I'm going?" And he like got really fucking pissed.
Gotta teach him. Did it.
Because we talked about midgets and then you went because we were talking about hookers and you went to midgets. That the conversation just like flashed back into my memory.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No,
You can't hang out with midgets.
What's wrong with you? They're not even real people.
technically they're like anywhere from 1/2 to 1/3 of a person.
Yeah.
You ever see a giant midget before? Yo, a giant dwarf. Those are cool. I don't know. They might be. I don't even know if they exist. I'm sorry.
Thank you to the Russian who listens to us, by the way.
The Russian.
There's a Russian. There's a couple from Canada. I think like 2 from South Korea, a Russian guy, and I don't know. I think 1 from Alaska. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this motherfucker. Anyways.
Probably like an entire block of Russians sharing internet from like the same computer.
Yeah.
They're all poor and spend their money on alcohol.
Yeah, and they're just listening to us right now, like in a giant, massive party, a listening party, and then like afterwards they just talk about like the entire episode. I found Total Chaos, aka Mark, to be very intriguing this episode.
You didn't use the Russian accent.
It's a British guy that actually left his country because he's a rapist.
Oh. Well then.
Thank you to all our rapists. They listen to us.
Thanks. Thank you to all the rapists.
Yes. Thank you, Zara.
What?
I didn't mean to connect both of them. Forget it. Okay.
He did.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
All right. So, do you have you got anything to plug, Zara?
Your ass.
I was waiting for that all night.
I know.
You can find my pass at Rome, New York.
Ooh, baby.
Phone number 929.
But
if I ever visit the East Coast, I'm definitely coming to visit you though.
Oh.
Do it.
I'll bring the lube.
Yes.
And
listen, you don't need it. I like it dry.
And let's end this
You're
shit.
a pillow biter, huh?
No. I just straight faced.
Fuck it.
Straight faced.
Fucking dick feels like a cat's tongue. Let's fucking end this shit.
Sandpaper cock.
Sandpaper dick. Sandpaper dick. Alright. I'm posting up the links to this shit maybe tomorrow or some shit, but we gotta do something about all this fucking bullshit. So, thank you everybody.
What bullshit? What's happening?
This whole fucking net neutrality shit we're talking about to begin with.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we
Well,
talked about that.
We've been talking about midgets and implied homosexual activity, so I lost perspective
not
on the greater
bullshit.
picture.
And if it wasn't for the free internet, we wouldn't be talking about that shit. We're like,
It's
no,
true.
they're not real people. They're not real people. Gotta go back. Get a real person and jerk.
I need to go back to Magedia.
Either get a real person or get 2 little people.
Those fucking midgets.
Make 1.
Listen, I have no problem with midgets.
None.
Everyone, we're just joking. Settle down. Don't worry about it.
My
Midgets are.
uncle's a midget.
Uncle Ricky?
Uncle Ricky, putting it down like a motherfucker.
You have a lot of people in your family named Ricky.
My mom's name is Ricky.
That's
It's a family name.
Wait,
It's a family
is your the last names different?
It's Rickyson.
Oh, Ricky and Ricky.
Ricky Rickyson. See how I did that? We started with the Suns. Now we're back to the Suns. Welcome.
Can't get away.
Alright. So check us out on Twitter, Facebook.
Oh shit, where can they find us on Twitter?
Shit, I don't fucking know.
At 99 proof tweets. That's where. Bam.
Yeah.
And
On some real stuff, you can find us on Facebook because that's usually where we're at.
it's true. Facebook.com/99proof podcast.
Yes.
By the way, Mark, I'm very disappointed that you didn't say I can't believe the brother and sister are having sex on the episode of Game of Thrones this season where they actually did.
Well, you just ruined the episode for me. Thanks.
Wow.
I didn't know that they were gonna have sex. I didn't.
It's been a week. I take no responsibility. I take no responsibility for you being behind in the times.
No, there's this fucking limit. No, you have to wait like a month before you fucking do that shit.
And no, I don't.
Yes, you
And
do.
I'm actually under no obligation to do that. No, I'm not.
Too fucking soon.
Oh, you
Like,
fuck.
look, listen, I'm pissed off because somebody fucking told me the ending to, whoever the fuck, who gives a shit that fucking show, that piece of shit.
I love that show.
Yeah, I know, and I like
Walking
it too.
Dead?
Oh, I Met Your Mother. That's the one. I need to watch
Oh,
the.
well, that show sucks.
Why don't you go fuck yourself? I've
Hey,
been fucking.
wait, here's a question. You wanna know how I know it sucks? Does it have a laugh track?
Damn it!
Canned laugh.
I hate you. By the way, if you guys like Dexter, watch that shit. I fucking watched all of the episodes. It's fucking awesome. Even the finale. Fucking, I love it.
Oh, I have a question. Have either of you seen Spirited Away?
No.
Go watch it.
I don't watch anime because I'm not a homo.
Yeah, you are. I butt fucked you last night. Well, we watched it, so watch it again, bag.
So I lied twice, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're a liar, and you like 10
Fuck
cents.
both of you.
Then.
I've tried ending this like 3 times already, and you assholes won't fucking let me.
All right.
Zara, see you at the drunk house, bitch.
Okay.
Alright.
All right, go find us on the internet.
It's on the intrawebs.
Until it's not free anymore, just find
Yeah,
us.
no shit. So fucking do it now, bitches. And then
Find us.
after that, we're fucking sending notes by owls and doves
Yes.
with our thoughts and
Pony Express.
Dowels.
with little people on top of the ponies. Bye, bitches. Oh shit.
And I
Oh shit, my coffee's been in the fridge freezer for like 2 hours.
it's frozen
Hold
coffee
on.
now.
I'm gonna go rescue it. I'm sure it's fine.
That's hilarious. Coffee town. What time? Oh, what time is it in Arizona? Like noon?
Noon? It's not China, you dumb fuck. I think it's I don't know.
Well,
Well,
it's only 8 there.
me personally, I have an iPhone, so
Yeah, I just found out that
what time is it in Arizona?
it's 8:16.
The time in Phoenix, Arizona is 8:16 p.m.
Bam, Google, faster. Sorry. So sorry.
Send Mark a text message.
Okay, what do you want to say to Mark? To tacos?
It says to tacos instead of total chaos.
That's hilarious.
Tacos. Yeah, that was a good episode.
That was fun. I had fun. I'm going to see right now so I can say thanks.
Hey, have you uploaded the other one? Have you uploaded the other ones to YouTube yet?
I believe I'm up to date.
Yes.
My coffee was not frozen, by the way.
Ah, that sucks.
It's just really cold, which is exactly how I wanted it.
Well,
Donna.
glad to hear this.
So do I talk too fucking fast?
No.
Okay.
I thought it was fine. Thank you.
Because I like have a lot to say, but I don't want to spend 2 hours boring everybody to death.
No, I think you're
So I
good.
talk
You're
fast.
fine. You're fine, man. You do talk fast, but you articulate properly, so that's all that matters.
That's actually really. In one of the video games I play, we use voice communication, and somebody was like talking about how I talk faster than the speed of light, but since I talk so well, it's like I have a direct link into their brain.
No.
Yeah, kinda. Cause like there'd be some people who are just talking. I'm like, I don't know. They talk slow, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're fucking saying. Like, what's going on? But nah, you're fine.
Because I talk slow, but people don't understand what I'm saying because I'm Hispanic.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross to hear you talk. So.
Yeah. It's like, what did he say? Because I don't understand. What did he say?
What
Why
did he
is
say?
he Mexican?
Why is he Mexican? Why do we allow him here?
I don't know if
Go.
I asked you this already, but do you think in Spanish or do you think in English, or does sometimes like a mixture of both?
Both, but for the most part, English.
Hmm. I had a friend who's French, and I asked him the same question once. He got like really offended,
What?
but I think
You
that's
have
because he's French.
And
Yeah, right.
he's a fucking bag, and his mom's hairy as shit, and they've lost every fucking battle since fucking 3000 BC or whatever the fuck. They haven't won once, have they?
No, they actually were very successful militarily until like Napoleon, and then they all kind of just fell apart. Waterloo was like the end of the French being relevant.
That sounds like something.
Some people would argue that they actually like won the Revolutionary War for us or something, but that's only partially true.
Didn't they do something afterwards? No.
What do you mean?
Yo, I forgot I was gonna say that on the podcast. I wanted to talk about how I want to be stupid for a day. Like just completely fucking stupid and do the stupidest things ever.
You should. Try it.
Like instead of worrying about what I'm eating, like fuck it, I'm just gonna eat like fucking 16 tacos.
Oh my god.
That'd be awesome. Like just
Yeah.
shit you actually want to do instead of like, yeah, I shouldn't do that.
Let me tell you. Well, I don't know. I am going to tell you, but I don't know why I phrase it that way. This Sunday, like, here's the deal, right? My family is so fucking dysfunctional, it's not even funny, and my parents are like on the edge of divorce at this point. So like last weekend we were gonna have dinner for Easter, and then my mom like lost her fucking mind and decided that she was just gonna stay out at her horse property all day. So they literally rescheduled Easter for this Saturday Sunday. Like my family is literally like pretending that Easter is this Sunday,
What?
and we're going to have an Easter dinner, and I'm gonna have like a fucking like my mom is literally fucking nuts, and she's getting me like a chocolate rabbit, and then my sister's getting me a fucking she's getting me an ice cream cake, and this has nothing to do with Easter, but it has to do with the fact that she told me she was going to do it this week anyway, and because it was my birthday like 6 months ago and nobody got me a cake.
Oh.
So I'm gonna eat like a chocolate rabbit and ice cream cake, like half of a fucking ham, and just like stuff my face
You
while
go.
my parents sit there and be passive aggressive with each other.
You go, girl.
It's gonna be the fucking greatest.
I know you're gonna dig that. Are you still talking to both of them, or are you just gonna let them? This is gonna be like a television show for you then.
Yeah. Well, like here's the thing, right? Like I both like I think that a lot of people seem to either like really love or really hate their parents, but I kind of have like this like thing where I like respect them in some ways, but in other ways I think they were fucking retards.
I agree with you.
And like my mom was she's not a stupid person. Like in the sense that nobody like both of my sisters are also pretty or fairly intelligent as well. She's always been hardworking. She's always like she never fell for any like the really stupid kind of parenting conventions that have been like plaguing the world. So I guess I didn't like getting it screwed up by her being a shitty parent or whatever. But she was like never home, and they always just kind of like left me to my own shit until something bad happened, and then I was like the center of attention in the sense that I needed to be punished. But it was like they did some things that I agreed with parenting me, and other things that I thought were stupid parenting me. And I also recognize that parents aren't infallible, and like all other human beings except for me, they make mistakes. Like, my mom is very obviously mentally unbalanced these